The Space Force is building a virtual training ground for space conflict. Read all about it, defense1.com. In an interview, Chief of Space Operations notes China's effort to jam and intercept orbiting satellites. Now, the U.S. Space Force is building a virtual environment to teach its Guardians how to fight enemy attempts to thwart its missions in space. The Chief of Space Operations, General Chance Saltzman, said adversaries are now trying to take away capabilities that the Space Force provides to the U.S. military, such as satellite communications, missile warning systems, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance in space. Welcome to Space Force News. Everything Space Force News. China has also demonstrated intent and capability to conduct counter-space operations, which could potentially attack U.S. spacecraft, Saltzman said in an interview with Defense One. Now, China, in several ways, does this, jamming satellites, launching missiles to hit satellites, on-orbit interfering. This is all according to Saltzman. Last year, China even used a robotic satellite arm, a satellite with a robotic arm. Could you imagine this? And it grabs another satellite and it's able to pull it out of its orbit. Here's a quote. The Space Force has been stood up to protect those capabilities and also protect the Joint Force from an emerging set of capabilities that the adversary is putting on orbit to threaten and target our joint forces on air, land, and sea, he said. Another quote, I didn't really train against an adversary that was trying to destroy my satellite or deny its capabilities. That really just wasn't required, he stated. And now we have the Space Force, which is building a virtual environment for its Guardians so that they can not only practice, but also know how to operate satellites. The tactics that would fight off an adversary's attempt to try to deny us our missions, he stated. Approximately $340 million of the service's $30 billion in the 2024 spending request is set aside for building operational testing systems and an infrastructure for training. Now, this also works with two critical elements: Joint All-Domain Command and Control, which is Pentagon's effort to weave every military sensor into a unified network. Wow. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and thank you for joining us at Space Force News, where we bring you the cutting edge in Space Force News.